People listen to this that don't know you, JaNae. Talk about a little bit kind of what, your TikTok page is kind of where you like to go and talk about all the things that concern you.
Yeah, just professional yapper.
That's what I said earlier. You told me I love to yap a few days back. Yeah. And I'm like, that's what we all are. We're just like, we have no expertise in anything.
None.
Whatsoever.
No.
And then we just yap about shit that we have no clue
That's
about.
Exactly
so
right.
people that ever listen to us, just clear. I mean, I always say, like, I have no knowledge of this. I'm just opinionated.
Yeah, I have a very big opinion, and if you say it confidently enough,
for sure.
You sound smart sometimes.
So I know yours, from football to politics, national politics. I know you're a very Republican-based Christian faith young lady.
I try. Very conservative.
Although
for
we
sure.
did talk about what we could drink on the show today, right? So, anything, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, and you said your husband warned you, please don't get on there and drink anything other than water.
Yeah, please don't. Don't act a fool.
Give your husband a shout out real quick.
Chris Popwell. In construction in Memphis, and one of the best dudes I know.
Well, fantastic. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Y'all been married? How long y'all been married?
Oh, see, that's a him question. 9 years, I think, next year.
Okay. It's a him
8
question.
years.
He better know.
I think it's 8 years.
He better know. So, obviously, probably like most of us, we had a first try somewhere along the way. So, somebody else found you and made life better.
Yep, that's exactly right. We're still friends with the exes. Everything's great. So
that's good. That's good. That don't always work well.
I know.
Yeah, that's for sure. I tried very hard in my beginning of life when I got my first divorce to be that guy. Be friends. It just sometimes you just can't do it, man.
We have had our ups and downs for sure, but
and now that particular child is in his 30s.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm just not willing at this point. It's been too much time.
100%.
I'm just like, damn it, that don't need to be in my life, so I'm not going to accept it. But super proud that I have him. I mean, he's an amazing guy. By the way, we just got back from that. We went out there. He lives in Wyoming.
Oh, nice.
And we went out there right before Christmas. He graduated from the Wyoming Highway Patrol.
Oh, sweet.
So he is
it's a tough job out there these days.
Oh, yeah, man. It's tough. Especially out there. They don't have, it's very big areas. There's not very many of them. So backup's not coming for a while. Could be an hour or two.
Yeah.
So you got to be a different breed of person. But super proud of him. But anyway, on the way back on the plane ride, with hundreds of folks traveling for the holidays on this one plane. Christmas Day, I started getting the chills. And oh my goodness, the worst case. And I've never had the flu, but man, I mean, I thought I was going to die. I really did, man. And so a solid week of that. I mean, my wife got sick. My daughter got sick.
Everybody just ran through the house.
Yeah, the trip out there wasn't no problems.
Sure.
Coming home, somebody on that plane was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
then you need a vacation from your vacation.
Man. I'm just now kind of getting back to myself. With that being said, we're one day removed from the Ole Miss playoff game.
Indeed.
With Miami.
Hell State.
I'm an Alabama fan, but I do love to see the success of local teams.
Me too.
So I do like Ole Miss, and I like Mississippi State. One of the things I liked about Mississippi State is two of your coaches, some of my favorite coaches.
Yeah.
Dan Mullen, I still think is one of the best coaches
I'm a little bit bitter. I'm still a little bit bitter.
Left.
I did. Well, then he made a lateral move. He didn't even make like a better move.
At that time, it seemed like.
And then he got the axe, and I'm like, that's what you get.
And he had a good success run at Florida too.
He did.
They just couldn't live like. I call it the Saban effect because you know this in the SEC. Sure. Like it used to be, coaches could ride on a 8-3 or 4 season or whatever they had.
Right, sure.
And that was success.
Just a winning season.
Yeah, it's a winning season.
Right.
Yeah. And so here comes Saban comes along, and these guys start making serious money, and
ruins it for everybody.
Why can he do it and you can't do it?
Yeah,
because he's Saban.
That's right.
There's only one. I mean, there was a reason why Bear Bryant was the only one that could do it in his era, and
And now Lane Kiffin's clawing to be the next Saban.
He wants so bad to be that.
So bad.
Yeah, I think he could have done it at Ole Miss.
I definitely think he could have done it.
So.
I will tell you, I do think that they would have had a better chance if he would have stayed
for
the playoff games.
Yeah.
I think he
that's what I was
going
to say. Is like, and on top of that, he let him coach the assistants coach the Georgia game.
Yeah.
But then he called him back before this game. So it's almost like he didn't want to see him succeed.
Right.
And that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Like, either let him or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think part of the problem, JaNae, is like, by the way, I didn't tell people who you were.
That's okay.
Tell them who you are.
I'm JaNae Popwell. Yeah. Sun up to sundown on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok famous. So anyway, welcome today, JaNae. We just kind of started talking and rolled into the show, so it's cool.
That's what happens when football's in play.
Oh my God! And so I felt like that if he let him coach any of those playoff games, he should have let him see it through.
I agree. I mean?
But I think he was bitter because they wouldn't let him. So, and I think
after they beat Georgia and he didn't get the recognition because, he's all about the money, but he's really about that ego. Though. I know. Yeah, like $250,000
per
or $15,000
playoff game. And then last night, had they won, he'd have got paid another $750. And who knows with the championship, if he'd have won the championship, probably been in the millions.
That's insane to me. Yeah.
Well, it's contractual stuff. But at the same time, though, like, I understand why he had to leave. His whole job is to rebuild their program and obviously recruit and stuff. I have a whole problem with all that. I feel like that, like, soon as the season's over, the playoffs should start right then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like immediately. So by New Year's Day, we're playing the championship game.
I agree.
And then they go right into the portal opening. Yeah. Then the recruiting starts.
Let's do it in order.
Yeah.
So then you're not killing these. They're just kids.
And these coaches could be allowed to finish out their seasons with their respective teams that they got them here. Like in the case if there's a college football playoff run, then they get to finish it out without having to.
Yeah.
It is like, look, I got to finish what I started here. And if you want me, this is what's going to happen. Right. I'll be there the day after to recruit.
Especially when you're Lane Kiffin and you left so messy. Like it was
he leaves messy everywhere he goes.
You know what? That's true. That's true. At least it wasn't in the middle of the night.
That's
right?
true. That's true. And he did that Tennessee, USC. He got showed the door. Good on them for that one.
That ego is way bigger than.
And then Alabama, Saban pretty much had to show him the door because he was trying to do both. He was trying to leave and
then Saban's the one that told him to go.
I know. It's all about money and egos.
It is.
And it's something we don't live in that land.
That's right.
So it's hard for us to understand. But it's hard to turn down.
And I do miss them just being, you don't want this to be the NFL. Like it's already so, in my opinion, scripted and just icky.
Goodness.
But now that's where college football is going. And I'm like, I want the knit and grit of these kids, that just want to play football, that are there hopefully for an education, but then want to play football.
They're not there for the education.
I know, none of them anymore.
And never have been, by the way, JaNae. It's always been a pay-for-play game with the ultimate. Nah, man, shoot. I'm not in denial. I mean,
right.
I know, even with Bama being a fan.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way they was getting all that done just on the premise of
my perspective is a little different because I'm a Mississippi State fan, so we don't have all of that money that we can throw out there to all these players. We're just hoping for the good old boys.
Someone said they did offer Cam Newton some money back in the day.
I mean, back in the day,
allegedly. Everything we're talking about, by the way, is alleged. Just to be clear, we know nothing specifically personally.
We're just yappers.
Yeah, we're just yappers. That's right. So with that final game last night, it was great.
It was.
By the way, Ole Miss played their heart out. They did great. I do think they would have been better had they had all their coaching staff in place. Too. Because, to give them credit, they did build the team. Kiffin did recruit them, got them here, NIL'd them, whatever.
It is.
Put the staff together.
It's a hell of a team.
It really is. And I think that if they can keep it together, they'll have a great run next year
I think so, too. Yeah. I said that today on one of my TikToks that it sucks for us as State fans, but you got to give it to them. They're a hell of a team. They played great. They played great against Georgia. Played great last night and just came up short.
Yeah, look how far they got. Historic season.
Yeah.
They could never go back and say anything bad about this.
No.
It was a great run, and obviously more people want to come here, and be a part of that as well.
I agree.
And looking back, probably the best career. I go back to the Dan Mullen times at Mississippi State, probably their best historically they were in the top 5 at one point in time with Ole Miss as well.
That was a good time for us.
It was a good time.
It was.
Both those coaches were gone. Yeah. I really hope that Mullen would come back at some point,
they've teetered with that idea a little bit.
Have they?
Yeah. Again, I'm still on the bitter side of that.
But if he came back, you'd be okay.
I would. My husband said the same thing. He's like, you would love it if he came back because he would build the program we wanted.
The saddest thing that I ever seen happen was, and probably my favorite coach outside of Saban was Mike Leach.
It broke us, man. It broke us.
Because, I mean,
I get chill bumps thinking
when
about
him and
it.
Lane both came at the same time, I thought, Mississippi is on fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be
and
amazing.
And then them even together,
yes,
going against, it was perfect.
And so to lose him, like, just suddenly, it's amazing. Yeah. So to start over from there, I think they'd be a long ways down the road now. Like,
I think
they'd
so
be
too.
A perennial top 10 team almost
We'd at least
every
have
year.
winning seasons.
I think so. Yeah. And I think they'll get back there.
Yeah,
I think that the
so.
seriousness of it, and even with Ole Miss success, you're going to have more success for Mississippi State because it's going to drive them to do better and try harder.
Well, and we have players that want to build something.
Yeah.
Now we have KT Kamara Taylor.
Yeah.
Now we have him, and I think people want to build a brand with him.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love to see it. Levy, I fight with him a little bit, but his play calling is a struggle for me.
Have you got to meet him?
No.
No.
Yeah. I did throw out my I'm looking for a press pass. So
okay.
I did throw it out there, but nobody bit the bait yet. So
well,
I'm gonna keep pushing.
If we're so lucky to have a few viewers that know him or know somebody in the organization, let's help
Let
JaNae
me know.
out.
Sign up to Sundown.
Sign up to Sundown on TikTok.
That's right.
Sun up to Sundown.
SON.
That's right. SON.
For all my boys.
What is that reference?
So I have 3 boys.
Yeah.
They're 20, 15, and 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
All
got a
over
wide
the
range.
place. Yeah. I never was sure if I wanted another one after
the first one
and then the same. So.
Yeah.
And then I was like, here we are with 3.
3 of them and a 7-year-old.
Yep.
Man.
It's wild.
I'm trying to think. Earl.
Yeah. He's busy.
I bet he is.
And he has the attitude of the 20 and 15-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Big
Knows
brother.
it all. Yeah.
So 3 boys.
Yep.
Just running your life every day.
And they're in all the sports, all the things.
Oh, my goodness. You're busy. Yeah, we talked about that when we're talking about coming on the show. You're like, Neil, my life is just like ball games, sports, practices,
everything.
Somewhere in the middle, I'm trying to work. I'm trying to help my husband. I'm doing all this stuff. And TikTok.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say TikTok's just a plus. I sit in my car. It takes a minute of my day. So
You do pretty good editing, though.
Oh, thanks.
And you do have a wide range of TikToks that you do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is like national politics. We don't mess with a lot of local stuff. The only local stuff that I've seen you do is when we had this thing with the White Side stuff. And obviously everybody knows about that by now.
Sure.
But your involvement is you went to the school board meeting that they had right after that, and you were screaming.
Yeah, well, they did tell me that they cut the live feed, so I was like, here's my chance.
Yeah.
Except the news didn't, and I missed that memo. But you know what? It's okay. I know the victim. I know their family personally, and they're very dear to me.
Yeah.
And if the community's not going to fight for the kids, then who is?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so far, the community has been outstanding. Minus the few people that wrote letters of character for her and stood on their 10 toes down. That's fine, you know. But what you can't do is hold a position of power and authority
100%.
over our children.
I agree.
And support that kind of behavior.
Especially, the Henley is who we're referring to. When you have a unique opportunity to sit in court and hear the victim's statements like she did.
Yeah.
And then double, triple down, on her support. Like, it's just gross. And
it is.
And you can't make decisions for our children.
No, not at that point. And, I think that's where this House bill that you and I discussed that's coming up, they're in legislative session right now. And I know it's Senator McClendon for sure is on top of that, trying to get that passed in the House. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? I
think it's really important that they pass it. Even... I don't really know the ins and outs of how they're going to implement it if they do it. Is it going to be a vote? Is it going to be, where they just decide, hey, you cross this line, you're done?
Yeah.
But I think if you're able to be voted in and you do something unethical or something that is not protecting our children.
Should be able to vote out.
100%.
Yeah. I think the way statewide, because it's not just here, because it's an issue that's probably, and it's not just school board members either, but I think that the possibility of a recall election in some capacity, but I think especially in this with the school board members, it allows the other board members to collectively vote them off.
That part. Yep.
Yes, that's what this is after.
Yep.
An unnecessary thing, by the way. You know what I mean? Like this is dealing with our most precious resource in life is our children.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like all we want to do is see them succeed. So they had a lot of things in front of them. They don't need a representation like that.
Right.
I don't know the lady personally.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and I've talked about this many times on the show, like credibility wise, I mean, through the years, great, obviously built herself a reputation for representing our children, got her elected on the board. She was the chair of the board, to destroy all that. Yeah. And still won't answer.
Right.
Why.
Just very, a very pretentious response.
Yeah.
When we're in the school board, and of course, Miss Pam Pegram is just the end all be all of goodness.
Yes.
And when you're having a conversation with her and Henley just stared at her.
Yeah.
Just looked
Chewing
at her like,
gum very disrespectfully.
It was awful.
Like she couldn't stand to be there.
Yeah.
I get it all, but if you're gonna stand on that, then you're gonna have to face the fire. There's consequences for our actions, and I understand that. Like, I understand her. I don't understand why. I think that's what most people want to know is from the public. If you could tell us something, like maybe we could halfway understand, but really probably not. Like there's really no reason to.
At this point. At this point, it's too late. I feel like.
Yeah. Also, but you have the right to support whoever you want,
of course.
But just know that in that kind of position,
of course,
you just can't do it without any consequences.
That's
and
right.
know people are going to be calling for your job.
Exactly.
Same way with school too. Any kind of mandatory reporter, I think that they're going to wind up demanding that from you.
And I do want to, say that I personally know a few people that have written the letters and that have said it themselves. And, they too were bamboozled by Whiteside. They were like, there was no way that this girl was guilty of this. There was no way. And of course, then the letters were written and they were like, of course, this is a family friend. I knew this girl as a child. I don't know her as an adult. And, there's something to be said for that. Now, if it gets released, you have to face those consequences.
Well, those people, I would say to them, knowing after they heard all the testimony of the details, like, I don't want to say I kind of understand it, but I can kind of, I guess, from a standpoint of like family friend, know them a long time, they don't indict you for no reason.
Right.
So even looking back in December when the indictment came down and they was like, well, but she also duped them all, in my opinion.
And she, when the indictment came out, she was like, I'm absolutely not guilty. 1,000% not guilty.
But she had to kind of like somewhat plea a little bit with them because the evidence was all there.
Yeah.
Even district attorney said that. Like, he was even like, we had her. So, she couldn't even argue. Like, she had to. We had 60-something thousand pages of text messages and stuff. Yeah.
Wild.
So, but the public necessarily didn't know all that. So I could understand at that point in time where they'd be like, well, I don't think, it's probably not nearly as severe as people are thinking.
Well, and, you've grown up with these people and you, in your good heart and your logical mind, you think there's no way this human could be this monster.
Sure.
But
and then, once the case come out, JaNae, I think the people you're talking about and referencing that did write letters of character for her and they heard the evidence and seen the severity of it, that was the time. Even now, if they stepped up and said, hey, you know what? I got duped.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I will say, all of them that I've talked to, 100%, they were like, I would never.
Yeah.
I would never done it.
They also need to publicly
if I would have known. And
retract.
I do.
They need to step up and say, hey.
The two that did, I think that was a very big statement and a big stance that they took.
Yeah.
And you see, everybody moved on.
Yeah, they did.
Forgave them and moved on.
I think, too, with them being young, though,
of
they
course.
didn't have as much to lose, either professionally or any of that stuff. I think people at this point probably could be fearful of their livelihoods and
100%.
everything else. So I totally get all that.
Yeah.
However, again, a good rule of thumb is don't stand 10 toes down for somebody until you know the details.
That's right.
Yeah. Like, even if it was my own child, I say this all the time, I would have to know, all the details.
Everything.
Like, I'm not going to stand by it.
Yes,
I need to know the details.
Exactly.
So getting past that point, though, that's where this bill is important because, even the board wants her removed.
Yeah.
They don't want her there. Because,
and that's hard when you're the people you work with every day to run this board, to lead our children. You're making decisions for our children, for our schools.
Absolutely.
And you can't be removed. And you just sit there with your ego.
Yeah.
And just, sorry, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know her. I don't want to speak on her behalf, but it looks really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really bad. And
I've personally met her a few times in not the best capacity.
Yeah.
And, it's ego.
It's ego? That's what you feel like
Allegedly.
it is? Allegedly. Okay. Let's say alleged a lot today. So, well, moving on from that, HB, what's the House bill again?
It's HB 817, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. And I want to say that, we would give you details on looking that up, but I think you can go, I think the legislature's in session now, and they're actually doing the hard work already. And I know that most everybody that I'm aware of is in support of passing this, because it went up last year.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It didn't get voted through. I don't know why. I just don't know if there was enough support.
Right. To me, it almost seemed like something that was just overlooked.
I think so, too.
Like it's just not that big of a deal. Yeah. We love our school board. They were elected.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Well,
statewide. Statewide, because if this thing passes, it'll be a statewide initiative. Sure. So that's kind of why I think probably it wasn't as a significant issue. Right. But as we see.
And now we're pushing for it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, just
the voices are out there.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll move on from that. Now the next one I wanted to talk to you about, because it affects us all in DeSoto County, but especially in the town you live in.
Yeah.
XAI.
Yep.
Talk to me, girl.
It's okay. First of all, let me just give a shout out to Musselwhite, our mayor, Darren Musselwhite. I love him. I think he's doing an exceptional job. I know with all politics, you have people that don't, people that do. He came out with a statement just yesterday and broke it all down. I'm talking from top to bottom. You know, everything they're doing is legal. Everything they're doing is by code. Mm-hmm. The noise, it's supposed to be gone in a year because they're going to put the turbines indoors or enclosed, not indoors, but enclosed.
So the turbines are not what makes the noise. It's the engines that run the turbines or whatever.
I know that they're doing what they can.
Yeah, they can. And there's temporary things in motion. By the way, first of all, let me just say this. He is not the one who brought that.
Right.
You know, a lot of times these big warehouses and these businesses that come in and like really push into our little communities, and we're like, why there? Why this? Why that? It's state level.
Yeah, 100%.
It's state level.
It is.
It's pushing them. I'm sure they call and go, hey, Mayor, this is an opportunity, this location. I need you to do everything in your power to make this happen. It's a huge investment coming. And so their job at that point with the board members is not just about the mayor. I mean, he can't do anything on his own like that, you know. So I want to give him credit for handling it the best he can.
Sure.
But he's also a man.
Right.
You know, and he has the right also to verbally, defend himself.
Sure.
You know, I know he's a politician. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the transparency that people demand, because of the nature of the competitiveness of trying to secure a deal, they can't just come out and tell you everything. You know what I mean? Until part of it's done.
That's right.
And as citizens, we vote to have them represent us on our behalf to make these decisions as a board and a mayor. So, no, they're not going to come to you and go, hey, do you want XAI?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, do you want this $20 billion investment?
Years and
Their
years and years
job
ago.
is to do that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, there was insane pushback when they were trying to bring FedEx here.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And now look at it. You can't even imagine the area Memphis, Tennessee, and South Haven area without.
I think that they're going to be, I know what people's concerns are.
The safety, the health risks.
Yes, absolutely.
The noise.
Absolutely.
And I do think, if you read what he wrote or you read anything about the XAI, they're going to do what they can, to eliminate that or to keep it as less as they can.
I think, JaNae, it's like so unprecedented, like the type of business it is. It's unusual because it's new. It's 100%. New to all of us, right? I don't even totally understand AI. To be honest with you.
I don't either. I don't want to.
Or why we have to have these gigantic facilities. Yeah. Because they are huge,
Massive.
And I watched the one that they built over in Memphis, southwest Memphis, over there on the island. I call it the island. They turned in the Electrolux factory into the first data center.
Yeah.
And I watched it from its initiative, groundbreaking process.
Yeah.
And, I didn't understand it. I'm like, why do they need such a massive facility for?
It really is wild. And then they need water, and then they need air, and then they need, all these things. And I'm like, what?
So it's with the computers, it create a lot of heat.
Yep.
Right. So it takes a lot of space. So the water's to cool it, the air's to cool it, all that stuff, and the turbines are generating the power in order to, to generate the computing power. So it creates heat. They need water to cool it. They need massive facility. I mean, it's just
a lot of things,
man. And I don't even totally understand it. But what I will say is as much as the citizens don't think they are, and that they're money driven, and that's all they know, I don't think that's the case with Mayor Musselwhite and the Board of Aldermen in South Haven. I truly believe that they really probably didn't have a lot of choice in the coming of this. There is a heavy industrial area where this thing is being put. By the way, I want to remind people, this is not like residential area.
Right.
This
they
is
didn't come
design.
and say, hey, we're going to put this in your backyard.
Yes.
Yeah.
there is not a lot of people to live over there. It's an industrial area.
Yeah.
And one of the few people that probably live right in the area there, I mean, I would say if they're spending $20 billion, let's just spend another couple of million and buy them a nice place somewhere else. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Relocate them if it's that big a deal.
Heck yeah. use that. You know, if they're coming in your backyard, use that. Say, hey, listen.
And the noise pollution, by the way, right across the street there's the TVA power plant, steam plant that's on State Line Road in that general area. They have huge turbines as well. You know, I honestly, it's the health concerns. You know, because we don't know what we don't know.
I watched a funny. This is kind of a little, I don't know, catch-22 moment of it. It's like, okay, well, you're going to be okay if you have health risk because in 20 years you can dial that 1-800 number that comes across your TV and you'll get compensated for it.
Right, Elon will compensate you for it. So, but like I said, I don't want to put it back on the local government.
No,
I think they're doing the best they can to hold the people accountable.
I
think that it's a positive thing for the community. And I mean, it's coming too, by the way. I don't think there's any stopping it. Too much investment's already been put in place. There's too much state support. There's too much federal support.
Yeah.
And the local governments definitely want it because it brings, you know, it generates a revenue opportunity. It creates some jobs. I mean, you know, people go, well, what? Maybe 2 people are janitors. I mean, maybe. But they're going to be high-paid janitors. You know what I mean? So, so the facility, I don't know all the details, and we won't know. And I'm not even sure our local.
Well, you know, Musselwhite said I think something details. Over 100 jobs, you know, could be offered there
throughout the community.
Sure.
So that could mean, you know, from security details to people maintaining the place or whatever the case may be. So it's just people want to know some stuff that they may not know yet in detail 100%. Right. So they're transparent. They're trying to be.
They're trying.
You know what I mean? They
and
really
that's
are.
What, you know, that's another thing Musselwhite said is we're rolling out what we can when we can.
Yeah.
You know,
and I talk about this all the time with like as our municipalities grow and expand, change is tough.
It is.
It really is.
Especially when, you know, a lot of these people that live over there were the original South Haven, you know, are the small town. Side. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so now the growth of South Haven is insane.
It is.
You know, it's
the whole
huge.
DeSoto County is that way right now.
Yeah.
And trying to manage it, that's what I was talking about. Like, trying to manage the change to help the citizens, you know, not inconvenient. It's almost impossible.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I deal with State Line in that area every day.
Yeah.
As part of my job brings me to that area. It is a nightmare trying to get out on State Line Road up there.
Yeah.
And they're actually putting a red light in there. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it may be the only way you can get back out on the State Line from one of those side streets, you know. So there's a good possibility that is. Now, that is a state highway. So, you know, there's a combination. Well, I'm not sure about that. Let me rethink that. Maybe not. Maybe it is a city highway. I don't know. But I think State Line is a state highway. However, whatever the case may be, is they have to be planning in advance, widening of the roads. Mm-hmm. This stuff takes time. You know, it's just unfortunately, you know, nobody probably seen this coming. You know, until like the last year, maybe.
Well, and nobody can even really be sure what it is except the people creating it.
Sure,
you know, and so, like you said, our local government's doing what they can
just
with what they have.
Work with them, and I think they'll be good civil partners. You know, and community with. I hope they are. I mean, they're bringing a lot to the area, a lot of notoriety, and then people go, "Why here of all places?" I don't know. I think it's because we have a lot of water, like on a regular opportunity for some places to. You know, close to the river is important. Yeah. You know, lots of opportunities to generate power. We have some new power facilities and things like that. I don't know. You know,
I don't really know why either. You know, I mean, I think me personally, it'll be good in the long run. Yeah. I hope it's good. I'm optimistic about it, but I don't live. It's not in my backyard. You know, it's in DeSoto County. It's in South Haven, but
the
I'm
noise,
not really that close
there is
to
a
it.
roaring that comes from those temporary turbines, and there is some that will come from the permanent ones as well. They did talk about building the I guess the build up around the place kind of help keep the noise tightened down. Takes a little bit of time for that. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Is it worse than living by an airport, you think?
No.
Because, I mean, where we built our house, we got 12 acres right in the middle of South Haven. We got very blessed that we found this little spot. And the airplanes are constant,
all the time.
You know?
And you get used to them.
I don't even... More people notice them when they come to my house than I do, and I live there. And I'm like, I don't ever hear them anymore.
And it's like living by the train tracks.
Yeah.
You know, I live within probably a mile in one direction of the train tracks.
Yeah.
I don't even notice them anymore.
Yeah.
And I used to every night when I go to bed, I hear this click, 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 from the trains coming through and blowing the horns. And I thought, man, those damn people live right next to that thing.
Yeah, God, it's got to be awful.
But I've talked to those people,
you
get used to it, and I think that's just part of commerce. You know what I mean?
I lived with my best friend right when I moved back here, and she lived right next to the Olive Branch one.
Oof.
And I was like, there's no way. And, and I mean, we lived there for a year, and you just get used to it, and it's
your body adjusts to it.
And I don't want to, discredit the people and their uncomfortableness.
Yeah, me either, man.
And all that for sure. But like, I mean, you just get used to it, and it just becomes.
By the way, there's a huge gun range right next door. Always shooting training facilities over there.
Like, and pick your poison here.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's a heavy industrial area. Yeah. So I think that people that live within, a mile or two of the place feel like they can hear things. It's unusual. It's new. It's different. I totally understand that.
In a year, they won't hear it.
I probably wouldn't want that in my backyard either.
Right, sure.
So now I have a choice. Like, now, this is somewhere where they got to work with the local municipalities and probably AI themselves, Elon Musk specifically, to say, hey, my property values are down. Who wants to move over here?
Right.
So how do I get out of this thing and not cause you any more problems? So they got to work with them on that stuff,
absolutely.
And, they had to do that with FedEx, I think, in the airport and all the stuff. When they built all that stuff, they had to work with some of the local community in order to kind of make sure everybody was happy.
And now everybody's so thankful we have an airport locally.
Yeah. Man, it's 20 minutes from our houses,
It's great.
It's pretty nice to have it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is. And then, I mean, that brought a lot of jobs here.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people.
My dad's worked there since he was 18 years old.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where does he work at?
Oh, listen, with computers. He does all their computer stuff.
FedEx?
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah,
good,
FedEx.
Good,
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, good. So, you're local. Yep. You're born here, raised here.
Didn't live here for about 15 years, and I moved back.
Yeah, where'd you move to?
Oh, man. I went to Mississippi State, and then when I got married, he got his master's degree at Ole Miss, so I have the N on both of those. I will pick Mississippi State every time.
Every time. Yeah, I gotcha.
And then we went to Valdosta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Lived there. Loved it.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool area, too.
Yeah,
big football area.
Yep, it was
High school football was huge down there.
Yeah. It was almost bigger than the college.
It was, back, especially in the 80s. Like in the 90s, like when you was coming through up there, Valdosta High School was like a small college.
Yeah, it was still like that when we were there. And, 2000, I don't even know, a long time ago.
JaNae's young. She don't want to tell you exactly how old she is. I had to ask her because I thought she was like in her early 30s.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. You'll take it.
I have a 20-year-old.
I know. So. When you said that, I was like, okay, well, then she's got to be at least 32 because of Mississippi.
42. It's okay.
I was just joking around. Yeah.
I'm just thankful I still get to be here to grow old.
That's right. That's my thing, too. Every day I'm thankful I wake up. So.
Right.
But like being able to travel out like that, it makes you appreciate things a little bit more about coming home and being from here.
Well, I haven't lived out of the South, so people give me a hard time about that because you don't know anything about the rest of the world that you speak on. And I'm like, I know enough, but I don't want to get out of the South.
Yeah, no kidding. I like it here.
I do.
It is good to travel a little bit and get out.
Sure.
Like, I have family that lives in another part of the country, of course, and I get to enjoy that a little bit. And I actually lived out there for about 15 years, and it is beautiful and amazing, and I lived there, and people go, don't you want to go back? I'm like, I like to go visit.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is 20 below zero.
Oh, yeah. I could never live where it's cold.
And wind that is like 100 mile an hour hitting you in the face all the time.
I like my pretend 4 seasons here in Mississippi.
Yeah. My wife, actually, she loves going out there for the summers because it's not as hot as it is here.
Yeah.
There's not as much humidity. And I definitely understand that part of it.
That definitely makes a big difference.
So it makes a huge difference.
We live in humidity here.
Oh, man. Just never get dry.
Even when it's cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, guys, this show is brought to you in part by RoofWorks Roofing Company. Not only just friends of the family, friends of the show, but great people, a great company. You can trust them for any of your roofing needs. Call them today. Check out what they have to offer. Free quotes, free inspections. And I can tell you right now, they're going to back up their work. Call them today at 662-303-0345. You can also reach them at roofworksmidsouth.com. Going forward with this AI thing, getting back on that topic a little bit, I think it's going to be ultimately a good thing for the people.
Think so too.
I think if people can stop listening to the media drum up this, because I think it's media driven. every time,
everything is
about the cancer and stuff. It's a cleaner energy form than what we had for many, many years. The TVA steam, the coal plant over there, it probably did some damage to the whole area, not just South Memphis. I mean, we are kind of South Memphis if you think about it.
Truly.
So I think we all endured that, but there's bigger problems. I think with that coming in. We have some. I don't know if you know much about this. The problems with the water drainage issues in the community, and especially in that particular area over there, right around there, they'll help solve some of those issues. Yeah, and I think financially as well.
Sure. Well, they don't have a choice; they have to.
Well, and the choice is they're here.
Yeah,
and they're not leaving. They don't put too much money in it.
That's right.
I watch it being ongoing every day, not inside it, but I see the traffic flow of trucks going back and forth. Man, they have spent. They know time. How many hundreds of millions already?
Yeah, I can't even.
So I can't. They're not stopping
Elon numbers. I can't even fathom it.
And supposedly he was supposed to be here yesterday, and he got sick or something. Oh, wow. So I think he was actually supposed to be there. You gave him the flu, huh? I probably did.
You probably did.
He caught it.
I knew it. Airborne.
Absolutely. What else is on your mind today? We talked about. Oh, let's don't forget about the lady we were talking about the show. Your cousin Aubrey. We'll give Aubrey a shout out. She was giving her hell today. The chocolate. Let's see, how would I state this? She robbed the South Haven Band Booster Club of their chocolate sales money, $39,000. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
God, and then she was just smiling in her mugshot.
Her mugshot was unbelievable.
Unbelievable,
I think
truly.
Aubrey referred to her as Big Deb.
Big Deb.
I don't know the lady's name.
Big Deb and her tartar teeth.
Their tartar teeth. I started dying laughing when I seen that thing. However, the DA was right about that because, it sends a clear message. He also prosecuted a guy the day before that was from, not here, I think he was Taiwanese, but he was scamming elderly people out of their money here locally. I saw that. So shout out to the DA, man. I know he catches some heat.
For sure.
He catches some heat from the old guard.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think his way of, he's very transparent, like he is.
He is.
And he's telling it like he sees it. And every now and then, I don't have I'm not like buddies with him or anything.
Yeah,
I have a small rapport. I like what he's doing. He's been on the show, and I want to thank him for that for sure because he brought a lot of light to things people didn't know about when he did come on the show. And I think people were clear with his goals.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to rest. Like they're going to,
That's right.
If you're messing with children and women in our community and the elderly, I'm not saying the men ain't important, but that's most of the ones who are at risk. He's going to come after you.
Exactly.
With the full extent of his office.
From the, I don't want to say small, but the smallest of stealing from children to the abuse of children.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. And he works well with all those collective groups. And
yes, he does.
I mean, from, the groups that I'm involved with House of Grace, one of the things we're doing with our Fancy Nancy foundation, I should say, is we give away the vehicle. And that's what's going to come this year with helping them.
It's amazing.
Healing Hearts Child Advocacy, which is a huge organization that helps our local children, whether it be, abuses in general.
Right.
He works really well with all those groups and takes them very seriously. And without them, he can't do his job properly.
He cannot.
Yeah.
That's right.
So guys, if you're looking for a good program to help, Healing Hearts is a great one.
Great one.
Way, because they're the ones who do the hard work to even get them to where Matthew can actually take it and prosecute it.
That's right.
So he depends on them greatly. The Domestic Violence House with House of Grace. I talk about that a lot. And when I do that in the show, it's because these are the ones that are the most vulnerable in our community.
That's right.
And by the way, all these organizations, nonprofits.
That's right.
They depend on me and you.
That's right.
To make sure that they survive. So if
and it's our local kids.
Man, it's our local
kids.
It's our local people, man. And so I like that's why the show's called The Local Yokels.
Yeah.
When I started it, me and you were talking about that a little bit. It was like, how do I bring more attention to other organizations that need help.
Right.
Because I'd started helping feed my lambs and I thought, man, I've met all these. Every time I'd meet somebody, like I'd meet you today, you'd be like, well, Neil, I'd love to help. And I'm so neck deep in helping Healing Hearts or whatever.
Right.
That's my passion. I'm like, well, what is that?
Right.
So then I start meeting these great organizations and calling them and they're like, what do y'all do? And I'm like, dude, if I didn't know about that, I wonder how many other people didn't know about it.
Word of mouth travels faster than anything
else. So what can I do?
Yep.
And that's where I come to the premise, like, I didn't want to be a podcaster. That is not my goal.
Right.
My goal is like, how do I bring more awareness and more eyes to something?
Right.
And then so I know that you and also your cousin, y'all love helping others.
For sure.
By the way, we didn't mention that. You and Aubrey are first cousins.
We are.
People don't know that. If you know Aubrey on TikTok, JaNae, I didn't even know that. And I didn't even know that, by the way.
Yes.
And maybe she told me, but I didn't know. I don't remember that.
Probably not.
And when you told me that, I'm like, how's that even possible?
Can you get it though now?
I get it. I 100% get it. Yeah, 100%. Y'all definitely a little bit different, and relatives, same age.
Yep.
Grew up together.
She's about a year and a half older than me.
Moms are sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Both. I don't know your mother, but her mother's amazing.
Yep.
And put together.
Our personalities do not come from our mothers.
Both fathers influenced. Yeah. Yes. So that's hilarious. But anyway.
Our mothers are kind and sweet and quiet.
Yeah, but with y'all's platforms, when you feel the need to get behind something, you do it.
Yeah.
Without question. You don't worry about the pushback from the public. You don't really care about, well, I know that local politician or that church, but I don't care. Like, this is wrong. This is wrong. And I love that. So what y'all do about that. Well, so you use the power of your platforms to speak up for others. And it's important. Yes. People call it social media warriors or justice warriors or whatever. Yeah. But it's a different day and time. Otherwise, you leave it up to the local media.
That's right.
To control the narrative.
And we see how that goes.
And we do. So it's important for you guys, like both of you and others that are especially, Crazy Alex. You know her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I love her. And one of the things she's done with her platform is turn it into helping others. She's created a place to where you can actually donate and help others and part of that. And she's a big give back person. I love her heart. I'd love to have her on here. If you're listening, Alex, come on.
Come on, Alex. It's a good time.
So, and we talk about things that are important to our community.
Right.
You know, my family, my son and his wife, they lived in Batesville for like 5 years down there, and there's a huge need down there.
Yeah.
You know? So I kind of look at this area from Batesville to Memphis is kind of how we live.
For sure.
You know, that whole 55 corridor.
Yep.
And the one big community.
That's right.
You know, that's kind of how I look at it. And if you know this about Healing Hearts and all these other organizations like the House of Grace and stuff, they represent those areas.
They sure do.
They have to service them. You know, they have to go in and help those communities too. Yep. So you're not just helping South Haven or Horn Lake, which is important, but it's the whole local area.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's what's important to me. I know it's important to you.
For sure.
You know, and for people that don't know, tell them what you do for a living.
I'm a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was a little concerned with the headgear today. She's like, oh my God,
what is this going to do to my hair?
It looks amazing.
Well, girls know it's hair washing day. You know, like I wash my hair for this. So
yeah.
It's a big deal.
So
that doesn't happen every day. I'm just kidding. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, these are great.
Yeah,
no,
good. Yeah, and it turned out you like them. You like the sound of the voice.
I do like them.
Be looking for JaNae's podcast. It's probably coming. Yeah, she's probably going to be doing it pretty soon.
A professional yapper.
Professional yappers. That's right. Yeah. Professional yapping with JaNae.
Yeah, there you go.
Sun up to sundown. It could be you could call it whatever you want. And anytime you want, you can use my chair when you want to do your first one.
Oh, fun. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'd be fun.
Topic wise, what else is on your mind today?
Oh, man. What else is there? I mean,
the Minnesota shooting.
Yeah. That's a heavy one.
It's a heavy one.
You know, as a conservative, I like to identify more as a conservative than Republican because I feel like the Republicans have gone as extreme as the Democrats on both sides. So I definitely lean way more conservative, but not necessarily Republican, I guess. But yeah, the Minnesota thing was wild. I think that, my opinion on it was, you can't use your car as a weapon. You can't drive your car into a federal agent.
Anybody for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I'm trying to play, I got two sons. One of them's in law enforcement, obviously.
Sure.
And I have another one that's Ole Miss educated. So what does that tell you? He's probably...
He's the criminal.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So me and him were talking about this and and he sees the side of it from the standpoint of like the officers should not have stepped in front of the vehicle.
Sure.
And he was absolutely right about that.
Sure.
And even my oldest son, who's the trooper, says the same thing. They're trained not to do that. So that was a mistake on his behalf, first and foremost. However, the person that was commanded to stop and get out of your vehicle, they were wrong for not doing so.
Right.
Well,
and if
so
you
there's
do
a lot of bad things that happen negatively.
Right. If you do a little background digging on her too, like that's why she was there. She was there to barricade and block the ICE agents. She was there to be an instigator. Allegedly, we'll say that.
Do you think she was paid? Because, I hear stories about like how these protesters are paid to show up in groves because that's how they get people there,
Well, there is this website, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they do pay protesters to go there. They create the signs. So if you see these protests that pop up overnight and all the signs are the same, yes, they've been paid.
Okay.
But from my understanding, she wasn't even from that area. They drove there. She was there with her wife. And she was doxing agents. She was, not that let me just clarify that she did not deserve to lose her life by any means.
No doubt. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And I do think he was quick to draw the weapon.
Yeah.
But 6 months ago, he was also drugged by a car.
Yes, let's remind people, like, he probably has some PTSD from, like, being around that. However, I think I would not have stepped in front of the vehicle had that happened to me before.
By a car, sure.
He did get drugged by a car, caused him a lot of physical damage, if I understand. So probably on high alert. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think he was quick to draw. It's wild that was his first thought for sure, especially to shoot straight at her, in the head, I guess. But again, on the flip side of that, you can't use your car as a weapon. True. You can't be out here doxing agents and running away from agents just because the media tells you that you're going to get off free.
Sure.
Again, I feel like the media is a lot of the problem here.
I agree with that. I think there was a lot of wrongs that happened within just a few seconds, like on both sides. I really do. I don't agree with her for sure, just by the fact that taking off and doing the things what she did to lead up to that.
Sure.
I think they were aware of who she was and they were seeing an opportunity to put a stop to it. So they went to her car to try to get her out of it and put a stop to what she was doing, blocking and barricading, whatever it was. Because, we don't know all the details of what led up to that prior to that.
But there's never going to be a time that I'm going to stand in front of a car.
Never. I wouldn't
Especially
have done that.
when it's already agitation going on.
Yes. And so his mistake was to do that, in my opinion. Looking at the video, only from my perspective, I'm no expert, again, allegedly. The idea that the way that I don't think maybe intently trying to run him over. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't see that part because she had the wheel cut pretty hard.
There was also another angle.
Was there?
There is another angle, and where she hits him with the car.
I seen that. Yes,
and
brushes
from
him.
the back angle. Yeah, and he jumped out of the way.
He stepped out of the way, jumped out of the way. Again,
the shooting was it was aggressive.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it would be in any case like that when it results in what it did. You know what I mean? And I think that the hard part for people is because, different sides of the media is going to show you different perspectives. Sure. And that's where we're torn. So the loss of life, incredibly horrible. A bad decision cost her life that day.
Yeah.
By being there, first and foremost, trying to interrupt them doing their work. And I don't care how you see it. They have a job to do. They're told to go do it. That's what they're there to do. And they're really not designed, nor will they hold court on the side of the road.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you that right now. So people, what I will say is whether you agree with this or not, just comply.
Yeah.
Like so many times in the past when we talk about these unfortunate incidents with law enforcement to where someone loses their lives, 90% of the time, if not more, it's because someone just decided not to comply.
That's right.
You want to argue with someone?
Yeah.
Well, look, I know it sucks, but you got to sometimes go through the process to where you can get to a point to where the right person will listen to you.
Exactly.
Don't let it cost you your life on the side of the road and argue with someone who has ultimate authority over you at that moment. And I know it sounds terrible, but that's just the case. Had she stopped and put her hands up and been like, okay, let me get out.
Right.
She'd still be with us today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's where I say, stop and think.
Yeah.
Don't be I see these TikToks all the time of people like, crack your, roll your window down.
That's
and they crack it and they start like, I don't need to answer that. Well, you're escalating a situation where
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Right. And I definitely am not on saying that all, officers or federal agents are all
there's
that
bad
are
apples in every
for sure.
orchard. Yes, for sure. I talk about that all the time. So I understand that thought of like, well, he was wrong for even doing that. Maybe, but she'd still be alive if she had just kind of like worked with him a little bit.
Right.
And then maybe she had to go to court and pay a fine or even went to jail, but she'd be alive.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at that.
Exactly. Same
thing on the side of the road. If you argue with someone who has authority over you, they're going to cause you some trouble.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. So don't do that. Just comply.
Yeah. And I don't know. You don't have to fight everybody else's battle every time either.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's where a lot of these people are kind of getting lost in the mix of all of this.
Yeah.
Is that you don't have to fight everybody's fight. You're a mother. They lost their father already.
Goodness, yeah.
You know, and so let's think about that first before we're fighting a cause that, and I get it, you know, like we want to stand up for, you know, people that we think are being wronged.
Right.
But it's not always your fight every single time.
That's right. And it's like we were talking about earlier with the Whiteside case. Yeah, it's not all of our battles, but like to fight for the victim in this. I mean, but there was a wrong. Yeah. And it's not like we're all there putting ourselves out in like physical danger.
Right. Like I'm not going to go run over Lindsay with a car.
Right. The fact that is, we're talking about it with words.
That's right.
We're trying to like make the public aware.
That's right.
That maybe they did, and that's kind of how you have to handle
both sides of it, so we can just find an understanding, find a middle ground,
common ground, and understand. Like we need to live another day to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure that lady did not wake up thinking that was going to happen to her or her spouse think that. You know, I think they were talking about how there was some filming going on, like they were trying to make a video. I don't know all the details.
It's devastating all the way around.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just heartbreaking.
To be honest with you, the officer that shot her, I'm sure he just didn't think, hey, you know, well, that's another one gone. Thank goodness. I don't think that's probably, he's got to live with this.
Sure.
Like, did I do the right thing? Did I pull the trigger too soon? I'm sure there's a lot of that going on.
Right. Like, could I have done anything differently? For sure.
Yeah. So it's just, it destroyed a bunch of people's lives. And now we got this whole other thing that's going to happen up there in Minneapolis, to where people are going to protest, and there's going to be other people that die. There's going to be other people who are incarcerated, lose jobs, whatever the case may be. You know, over
that's
just
the thing.
some lack of communication.
Yeah, we can't ever get to the point where like the temperatures turn down.
Yeah.
You know, like why can't we just do this?
That's right. That's right.
You know, why can't we just have a conversation?
We could talk for hours and not agree on everything.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
But I'd still be your friend because I respect your point of view, even though I don't agree.
Sure.
I respect it as a human being.
I had a dinner party the other night, and it was.
Why wasn't I invited?
Well, I was barely invited. I was shocked I was invited. No, it's a very dear friend of ours, and I got to meet his wife, and she is on the complete other opposite end of the spectrum. And we had a beautiful dialogue, you know, and we didn't agree hardly on anything except our children. The Whiteside case we both agreed on.
Sure.
And, you know, we did find a lot of common ground that, of course, the media would never put out there.
Oh, no.
You know, that
there's no money in that.
Sure. Yeah. And so, and it was really refreshing, you know, to sit there with her. And I saw things from her perspective that I didn't think of.
Sure.
And vice versa. And, you know, it was really great.
I think having a good dialogue oftentimes it allows you to learn, if you're willing to be open-minded, to learn other people's perspective. Yeah. And even though it's completely opposite of, like you said, like difference of opinions, you can maybe just see a little bit of the glimpse of why they feel the way they feel.
Right.
Maybe they were somehow in the past, you know, a victim of a situation similar, and so they just feel a certain way.
Well, and look at social media. Look how they do it. It's an algorithm for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you know, I do a lot of commentary on the conservative side. Now, I do go and search out what I can from the other side just to make sure I'm not completely crazy.
Sure.
You know, but all of my algorithm is, the majority of it's conservative. Yeah. And so that's what I see is the conservative side, the, you know, Republicans' view. And, you know, instead of seeing the other side that just shows up freely, I have to go dig for it. Not everybody's going to do that.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and
just
so
roll
then
with
you're
what they like to
stuck
see.
in this tunnel, you know, and that's what you're just fed that. And you're like, absolutely, I believe this way. They're agreeing with me. You know, this is the only side.
Yeah, that's right. And I feel good because I'm watching. It makes you feel good because people agree with you and all that stuff. Yeah, man, we're all just human beings.
That's right.
You know, and another thing I'd say, JaNae, is like mental health is serious. Like it's a real thing, man. And
it is.
And I think that with the lack of facilities in the past, you know, I know you're not quite young enough because I'm barely old enough to remember this myself, but like we had mental institutions. Yeah. They weren't great for sure, but there was a place for the mentally insane. Yeah. And we got them running loose on the streets, and a lot of them are the ones who are creating the havoc that we have. And I mean, we give them a platform sometimes, and they spew rhetoric, and some people go, well, I see that guy's point of view.
Yeah. And it's
man, that's pretty wild.
He doesn't know his point of view.
That's right.
He's fighting with the demons in his head.
So better mental health options.
For sure.
You know, especially when we do find them in our incarcerated facilities or whatever you want to call it, to where you can get them the right help with the right people, and not so much worry about the money side of it, but like, everything's a money thing, these days, everything, even with our fundraising we do and stuff, it all comes back to the money. Like that's really what we're after. I don't try to mix that up with anything. Like we're trying to do good, yes, but it takes money to do so.
Right.
Simple day. So,
well, and we, a lot of these battles that we're fighting, these freedom fighters and protesters and all stuff, we're fighting battles for people that don't give a single shit about us.
No.
They don't know us. They wouldn't fight for us. Mm-mm. They're not going to take care of us. Yep. And here we are fighting their battles for them. And it's just this same cycle over and over and over again.
Yep. And like the Venezuela thing right now, it's a big divide on people. That's another topic we can talk about.
I'm down.
I know. I think you were saying, guys, I went on vacation. I come back and we've done stole a man out of his country or something
I'm like,
that.
Just plucked him right out of there.
Plucked him right out of there. And it's true. There's people on both sides of that are just like, hell yeah, America first, blah, blah, blah. And there's people like, you can't just go pluck a president out of his chair and say, well, we did.
Well, I will say I've talked to people from Venezuela through TikTok personally.
Okay.
And they're elated, and it's just, I don't know. I can't really be mad at that. For so long, so many people here are fighting, because Trump's a dictator, in their mind. And then he solved a problem about a dictator that the last administration wanted to solve, and they just didn't.
Right.
And so now Venezuelans are all about it.
And, and he says, and I don't know what proof this is, you may know more than I do, that they were one of the worst ones that emptied their prisons and their insane asylums out into America. And if that's the case, then for sure, we definitely need to hold that dude accountable.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So,
for sure.
I think that some of the people on social media I see from Venezuela is talking about it like their best times ever in their recent history was in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
and it was back when the Americans were partners with them in business in the oil industry.
I was about to say, even everybody's saying we're just there for the oil, and I'm like, they want that.
Yeah, they do.
Like we helped their economy thrive.
Yep.
Now, on the flip side of that, I do wish America would get their hands out of everything.
Sure.
Let's do America first.
Yeah.
that's what we ran on. That's what we're fighting for.
That's right.
Like, I'm ready for America first. We're all ready for America.
If we intervene them to save them, at least, let's don't try to run their country.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I don't see we need to put somebody in place. Let them democratically elect someone.
Exactly. Well, they've already appointed somebody. And
already.
Apparently, it's not, allegedly, it's not the greatest idea, but no. I hadn't even looked into that.
I haven't either, but
yeah.
Let's just don't get ourselves into a long game.
Right.
Let's help them. Let's help them rebuild. I'm okay with that, as long as it's financially feasible for the companies who are investing into them to get a return, also help their country build. And, they were talking about that, how when we were involved, I say we, when the oil companies were involved from America, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, they were the ones building the schools and the infrastructure, and the people were living great lives. There was jobs created. They were sharing in the profits, Well, because they didn't know how to get it out of there. And even for the last 25 years, since the dictator Chavez before that kind of took the oil back over for the country, they had to keep one because they didn't know how to get it.
That's right.
Because it's a hard oil to process. It's a heavy crude oil, So they had to have somebody with the technology. Well, they didn't reinvest in it. They didn't let them really reinvest in it. They were just taking the money and doing whatever. But so that's where, if you work as a partner, I get it. But they got to want to be your partner.
Be a partner, not necessarily a boss.
Yeah, we don't want to be running their country.
Right.
I don't want to be known as, Southern Florida now extends into Venezuela. I don't want that. I want them to be their own nation, their own people.
100%.
They're a proud people.
Yeah.
They just need the right leadership.
That's right.
In every case. And we're in the same position. We need the right leadership all the time. So we don't always get that either. No. So that's why you have elections.
That's right.
So when people you complain about whether, and I don't say this towards Muscle White, but if you don't like him, vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have an
we
opportunity.
have the lowest voter turnout.
Yes, every time.
Every time. And I'm like,
I
what
had Jimmy
y'all
Stokes
doing?
on from Horn Lake, the new Horn Lake mayor. And one of the things that he and I talked about is how divided, but there wasn't that many people who voted.
Yeah.
It was a very close race, but there wasn't a huge turnout.
Yep.
And I think that happens in most all elections,
I agree.
John Stevenson, who's the head of the Republican, the I think the committee for DeSoto County, we were talking about some of those statistics back in the summer when he was running against Michael McClinton. We talked about the voter turnout in these local elections are horrendous.
Awful.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, you got a town of 30,000 people and less than like 6% might show up to vote or something. You know?
Yeah, it's wild.
So it is really wild. So, like, if you don't vote, it's hard to complain.
We tell our kids that, or especially the 20-year-old. We're like, hey, listen, if you don't vote, you don't get a voice.
That's right.
You know, to bitch about politics.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't get to do that.
Like, yeah, man. Like, if you want to be part of community service, to me, is getting involved in your local election. If it matters that much to you.
That's right.
Yeah. So, like, if you're worried about what they're going to invest in or what they're going to allow in your community, you need to be a part of it. You need to vote. Yeah. You know.
Yep.
If I had a complaint, I mean, sometimes I have access to people that others don't, like, you know, because of the show, you know, like, I've interviewed them, so I've got to know them a little bit, but, you know, I'm not there. I try not to be like one side or the other. I know it's kind of hard, but part of what I do is I like feel like, well, I don't really know enough about it to like side hard with it, you know?
Sure.
I try to see both sides of perspective like we talked about earlier. Politics is one of those things that just creates a huge divide in communities.
Does.
Yeah,
it
it's
really
like us
does.
versus them.
It is.
Democrat versus Republican.
When it's not that.
It's not.
It's not. And again, they don't care about
They
you.
don't. They just,
I mean, they care about money. They care about growth.
Yep.
And of course, they want your support, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily care about you personally.
No, that's true. And I think that all the mayors in this area and the DeSoto County rapid growth, probably when you left and came back, it was a huge.
Oh, it was wild.
Yeah.
I couldn't
From
believe
the time
it.
you moved away to move back, it was probably a huge jump in population.
Yep.
Where you lived. Did you always live in South Haven?
Olive Branch.
Olive Branch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I graduated high school at
And
Olive
that
Branch.
was definitely a boom area for them.
Yes.
Like, I mean, all of it's just huge growth. Ken Adams over there, I mean, he's doing a good job. Again, every town in DeSoto County municipality has experienced something that's unusual to them. It's just this like crazy growth. How do you manage it? How do you build more housing? You know, how do you rapidly, affordably, you know, all the things that happen like that you need.
Well, and we also have to
managing.
remember, you know, that the people that we do vote for, that we do put in charge, are doing the best that they can.
Trying the best they can.
You know, they're never, nobody's, all people are not always going to be happy.
No, you can't satisfy everybody.
Again, we have to vote in what we think is going to be the best choice, and they're going to do the best that they can.
And things are changing. You know, like demographics are changing.
For sure.
You know, you're going to see different colored faces sometimes, you know, and I applaud that change and taking place to where the representation of the people, you know, they feel like this is what they wanted, so they voted it. You know, if you don't, you know, like I said, whatever your choice, you have
Just
to do
it.
You have to.
Just do it.
You have to go vote. You have to get your person. If you got somebody you really believe in, we'll help them campaign.
That's right.
You know, if you don't have time, we'll talk about them to other people that lift them up and support them.
Yeah.
And whoever that person is that wins the election, I always say, like, you didn't vote for him. That's cool.
Yeah.
But he's yours for the next 4 years.
That's right.
So let's try to help him succeed because we don't want to start over.
If they fail, if your leadership fails, then you fail. Like your area fails.
Absolutely.
Your, you know, restaurants, your commerce, everything fails.
Yep.
And so, like, why would you want that person to fail even though you didn't vote for them? It's wild
because
to me.
That's the way it's set up. Like,
of course it is.
They want the opposition to win next time, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and then they're like, well, he succeeds, we'll never get him out there. Well, that happens, you know. You know, I think most of two mayors in the community have been long-term mayors now, and part of it is just because they've done a great job. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't even know what their party affiliation is. I could guess it's probably Republican, just because the areas they live in are probably heavy Republican areas. But I don't know that for sure. Yeah. Because I don't follow politics that closely. Right. But they're successful in how they manage their cities' growth. Right. South Haven and Hernando. Yeah. You know, they're two of the most like huge growth possibly, and managing South Haven's a monster. So I can't even imagine. And I do know Musselwhite personally, and so I do appreciate him. He like grew up with my dad. They played sports and stuff together. So he is a genuinely good I think
human.
He tries hard. I like how he bites back at people though. I do like that.
It's so funny, especially when he, you know, writes a book on Facebook about being transparent, and then somebody's like, "Hey, can you explain this?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, go back and read the thing.
And he'll tell you, "Hey, go read it. Go read the post."
Well, I think the other day, somebody was barking at him about, "Well, now that you got $20 billion, leave us alone down here. We don't want to be part of your town." And he'll be like, "Well, welcome to South Haven.
Right.
Because it's inevitable. It's coming because
We're
the only way
grow.
we can continue to provide these great services that you enjoy
That's right.
is to grow and expand.
That's right.
And try to create more services for the community.
Yep.
And a lot of times people don't live in the towns or enjoying those services, you
Yep.
know. So collectively, I look at DeSoto County as like one big town.
Same.
Yeah, I really do.
Well, and you
way.
see a lot of people from outside of North Mississippi that's coming here to visit and restaurants and shopping, and that's what you want.
That's what we want. That's what makes it great. We got a great school district, by the way.
Yep, we do.
Shout out to Corey Elselton and his and the board of supervisors.
Yep.
I mean the ones that we, not the one that we're trying to
I
do.
love the guy. I had a few words with him at that board meeting, but I respect the hell out of that guy.
Sure.
I think
They've
great.
done a great job. I think we have some of the most amazing educators in this whole state.
Yeah, I think so
here.
too.
I think we need to pay them better.
Pay them better.
Yes,
Look,
pay them better.
there we go.
They got I think they're on board to get a $2,000 increase. Now, everybody says, well, that
my
ain't
son's
much.
spotlight teacher was like, it's like $166. I'm like, oh, when you break it down, that's gross.
It don't sound
It's
good.
almost like a slap in the face.
It really is. I think they need to be. I mean, I understand the money has to come from somewhere.
Sure.
You know what I mean, I get that.
Well, when you have that much growth in your academics, like we went from the bottom of the barrel to where we're almost at the top in the country.
Sure.
You deserve pay because something's working. They're doing something.
Absolutely. I think part of the problem is, and I know you've read this, but we're administrative heavy, like on our pay.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's here. It's not DeSoto County. I think it's statewide. You'll have multiple superintendents for a county per se that has different school districts, and so you got this extra heavy load of.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's DeSoto County, by the way. I don't think that's the case. I think that elsewhere it is a problem because your principals, which they should be paid more than a teacher. I mean, they're essentially just running this gigantic
the school.
program. Financially and otherwise, they have to balance budgets and everything. So, but our educators need to be better taken care of.
100%.
Yeah.
And everybody has the argument, oh, they get the summer off. And I'm like, could you imagine pouring everything you have into other people's children, 30 of other people's children for 8, 9, 10, 11 months, and then everybody's like, oh, well, that's enough pay for you. You're done. And I'm like, what?
Same way with our peace officers.
Like, I just can't.
I think that Muscle White in his paper did talk about, or his article I read the other day, was like he wants to make sure we have the most well-funded police department, emergency services division anywhere with this, So part of that investment that Elon's putting in AI here is where he sees in his mind being able to create more of that to make it a better, safer place. Because one of the things that he has to do, he's got the biggest responsibility in the whole county to protect us from becoming something we don't want.
Yep.
Because his city borders that area more than anybody.
Exactly.
And I see those guys up there all the time with the DeSoto County Sheriff's Department, and all the municipalities are doing their best.
Yeah.
But South Haven, have the biggest responsibility of all. So
I agree.
So I can see where he can see the opportunity to do better there.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
He can't control teacher pay. I think that's if he could, he would.
I agree.
I really do believe that. I think that Corey would if he could. Usselton. I don't mean to call him by first name like that, but
Mr. Usselton.
Mr. Usselton. Yeah, I think by nature, just in general, this guy is an educator. You know what I mean, long term.
For sure.
And, he's got a job to do. And one of the things that we talk about this in the past was with the board. It used to be the superintendent was an elected position prior to Usselton. And so the board had equal footing with him. Like they were elected and they were both kind of equals, but he was kind of like the big boss, so to speak. Whereas now they appoint the superintendent and he works for them. So when people started blaming him for all this stuff, he had obviously he's got influence.
Sure.
They respect him as their leader in a way, but he technically works for the board.
Right.
And, So that's why I try to tell people, like, that's a huge, hard job.
I could not
40,000 students probably, I'm guessing. I don't know the actual number. We've talked about that before. It's a big responsibility, man, you know, and trying to, with the superintendents, trying to allocate funds to build new schools because we're ever growing, where to put them, where's the money going to come from? There's just a lot going on.
You know, my kids go to DeSoto Central right now, and it's like it's busting at the seams.
Yes.
Hernando is going to be the same way. You know, everybody wants to go to the new school, the college over there.
It's beautiful, by the way.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Shout out to whoever put the funding and designed that thing. I don't know who else involved, but sure there's a lot of people.
College
it is.
There.
It is.
It's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors of it.
I do too. And it doesn't look like a prison like the rest of our schools.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, isn't
our
it funny
schools kind of basically prison.
They are, but do they need to be built, shaped, colored like one?
I've asked this for many years, 20 years at least.
I always wondered that. Like when they built a new school, I'm like, dang, man, that thing looks like there's, like, that's Sector A over there.
Yeah,
shoot off.
Poor kids.
Yeah.
What's your hall? Because that's where you're stuck for the next year.
Absolutely. So, but however, they did a good job on that. And I think that's like planning the growth. That's what I was talking about earlier with these mayors is like, you know, especially the ones that's been around for a while, like trying to catch that growth and manage it properly. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
You know, because they're working with every facet of the community.
And very few people show them grace.
No, man. They don't ever get told, like, great job.
And like I always try to chime in on Musselwhite's post because I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, you're doing good, kid. You're doing good.
Well, and there'd be a pothole. And like all of a sudden, like he's the one that created it. Like he went out there and like dug a hole in the middle of the highway on Getwell.
Y'all still haven't fixed the potholes over here.
Yes, man.
But you built a restaurant.
Yeah. You put all this money over here. How about we drop AI on top of Silo Square? How about that? Like, why didn't you put it over there? Well, it's not heavy industrial, folks, for one.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. It won't fit.
It won't fit. Yeah. So I know as him as a human being, they're humans, man. They go home every night just like we do. And they got to deal with trying to balance this and make everybody happy.
Yeah, I could not imagine trying to finagle the growth of South Haven.
Oh my God.
It's enormous. DeSoto County, period.
Any of it.
And then you have to, you know, like you said, have the right law enforcement because, you know, we don't want our crime to go up because we're expanding so
One
quickly.
thing I will say is almost every municipality within the city, including the DeSoto County, man, we have amazing Leo around here.
100%.
Yeah, like,
well, even the jokes, like, not to bash Memphis by any means, but even the jokes are like, hey, y'all don't cross that Mississippi border. They do not play there.
That's right. Well, they've been told, you know, and I know that, like, you know, like I said, we go back and we talk about how there's bad apples in every orchard.
For sure.
You know, they're trying their best to make it 100%, but they know it's impossible. Yeah. You know, they're hiring human beings.
Exactly.
You know, so
that's the part that many people forget.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody on earth is still a human.
I'm not super, you know, I know you probably picked up on this on the show before, you know, I'm not affiliated with any religious organization or anything, but I do love the idea of giving people grace. Yeah. You know, because it's important to forgive.
Well, because we all need
understanding.
We all need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm big on that part. But I just think overall we have a responsibility, you and I, for sure, because we're out here talking about things a lot of times, that we try to promote as much goodwill in our community. I know a lot of the stuff that y'all do is making fun and making a lot of things. It's fun. It's lighthearted, you know, and stuff. But when the serious topics are there, you do the right thing, you know, and you try to advocate on the behalf of the children and the disenfranchised in the community, as well as our great leaders. And I know a few of them, you know, and I respect them all because it's a huge job. Yeah, you know what I mean. And again,
it's a job I'm not gonna.
I don't want it. I don't want to be. I have no aspirations of being anything.
Let me
other
just do my 1 minute TikTok.
This is what I do. All right. Yeah. So I don't aspire to be anything. This is not a money making scheme. Right. It costs me money to do this, by the way. And there's nothing like other than we're just trying to bring great awareness to things in our community. Yeah. So and you know, and when there's some bad shit that takes place, we call it out.
That's right.
And like I said, allegedly,
we love it here.
Alleged bad shit.
Alleged bad shit.
Yeah. So.
But we love it here. It's our home.
JaNae, you've done good today. You had him cussed.
I have cussed.
Have you? A couple times?
I think. See, you're so cold. Just unaware. So it's
probably because we're very much alike with that. Like so. Yeah.
One time I did one time and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that word right then. But
you can say whatever you want on my show. Yeah,
it flowed.
Yeah, it flowed fine. So you know that's bad when your everyday vocabulary is just lined with 4-letter bad words.
I try so hard. That was going to be my New Year's resolution, and I'm like, that's
Did
impossible.
You have some resolutions this year?
I just wanted to, this sounds the cheesiest probably thing I've ever said, is just romance my life some more. Like, just enjoy it and take it in. Like, I have a 20-year-old and it flew by so fast. And, you know, he's got a girlfriend, a very serious girlfriend. They're talking about engagement. And, you know, then I have a 15-year-old that's into all the sports and he's growing so fast. And they have this cool little friend group that I want to be a part of. And then we have the 7-year-old that, you know, is running as ragged. And, but I love every second of it.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, I just want to breathe it. I want to take it all in and enjoy it and not just live it.
I think the definitely where you're at in your life right now, I was not there at 42. You know, I just wasn't there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I guess you did say how
I did. It's okay. I whispered it.
10 years removed, I am there now, you know, to where I'm finally to a point in my life to where I have a lot of peace.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying it wasn't because it wasn't available.
Sure.
I just wasn't prepared to work that way.
Yeah.
Like, so it's good that you see that now.
Yeah.
And take that time because undue stress will kill you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And
I'll give a big shout out to my husband for that. Like, he brings so much peace to me that the things in my previous relationship that I was stressed about or like, you know, I'd be so uptight about and all that stuff. And he's like, it's not that serious, girl.
Man.
Like, it's okay that you didn't clean the house today. And I'm
That's
like,
right.
what?
Yeah.
You're not mad at me? And he's like, what? No, you're an adult.
So my wife, when we first met, you know, she'd come home from work frustrated or tied up, you know, and I'm like, baby, you just got to learn to smile and let it go.
Yeah.
You know, and we were in our 20s, like our mid-20s at the time. And she's like, how do you, I'm like, I don't know, but I just know there ain't nothing we can do about that.
That's right.
Nothing. And so don't waste your energy on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't just, you got to let that go. You know
Sometimes I almost go the opposite end of the spectrum because I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me, she's like, Neil, nothing bothers you? I'm like, well, I mean, it does, but like, I don't waste like my energy on something I can't control. I'm not going to talk it to death just
That's
because.
how my dad's been my whole life too.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, I've kind of been that way, but I'm also a woman. So it didn't just really flow off that easily. But
it's tough.
now I've hit that point and I'm just like, it's not that serious.
I think,
I don't care.
Right. I have a lot of fuck it in me. You know what I mean? That's what I say.
Fuck it.
Yeah, just fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
same.
I can't deal with it. So like I look at it as man, I got health sometimes.
Right.
And then like I got these great people in my lives, whether it be friends and family.
Yeah.
I'm meeting new people all the time that I consider friends, and you know, I'm loving it.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I love it where it's at. And I think that's where we, you know, talk about finding our peace.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes people don't understand that because they don't have it. And
That's
so
right.
it's hard for them to even, what are you talking about peace? And I'm like, well, that's for you to figure out,
That's
whatever
right.
that is. I can't tell you that.
I can't tell you what my piece is for you.
But I know this much, as we go older, it never stops because I got friends in their 80s that I love. And I wish I'd known them 20 years ago.
Yep.
And they're wisdom that comes with age.
Yeah.
So important. I listen, man. I listen to them. When they talk, I listen.
Sure.
You know, some even in their 90s. I have a 97-year-old neighbor.
Oh, that's
she's amazing.
That's awesome.
She's such a wealth of information. And she's got this beautiful, bright outlook on life, even at that age.
That's amazing.
Because I'll say something to her like, well, how's it going? She goes, I woke up.
We can only hope to be that blessed, right?
Yeah, she goes, I woke up. It's another day, man.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, we take that so much for granted.
It's truly that simple.
It really is.
It really is that simple.
And she has nothing but love for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I bet she was upset last night. I need to call her because she's the biggest Ole Miss fan in the world.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, big Ole Miss fan. So I but again, you value the peace, like the undue stress that comes in your life by allowing people to take that away from you.
Yep.
You know, just cut them out.
That's right.
I mean?
Best thing I ever did was started cutting people. I didn't even have to cut them out because when you stop feeding into the BS with them, they just disappear.
They disappear. Yeah.
And then you like, oh, wow, I've lived a great year.
Man,
you know, I'm so much lighter and, you know, there's no drama in my life.
Things are good. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's what peace is.
And whatever you enjoy, just do that.
Do it.
Yeah. Because life's too short. You know, it really is. I mean, I'm telling you, man, you know, so when you think about yourself as 42, the body of JaNae now at 42, but in your mind's eye, you know, you're still like 20 something.
I do not.
Yeah.
It blows. So my sister's 7 years younger than me, and she's like my whole heart. She is my absolute soulmate best friend. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And when I look at her, I'm like, how are you this age with 4 children, you know, married, 4 children, this house, and like every thing that she does in her life, like I sob over because I'm so proud of her.
Yes.
But I'm like, if she's that old,
right,
then that makes me this old. And I'm like, when did that happen?
I don't know, man.
You know, because like mentally, I'm still her big sister and I'm in high school hanging out with my friends.
But I think it's a pivotal time in your life. Like, so that's when y'all become friends probably.
Oh, for sure.
I mean? And so like you're stuck there eternally, so to speak, you know.
Absolutely.
Probably when you're both like, you know, in late 70s, early 80s, you're going to have this same dynamic, hopefully.
She better be in the nursing home with me, is all I can tell you.
Let's hope you don't have to go to one.
That's
you know?
true.
Like, that's
true.
where I'm hoping you're at in your
I mean,
life,
we could go to like a cool one.
Yeah, like a retirement home.
Yeah, retirement home, have our own little house.
Club Med.
We could finally be roommates again.
Drink margaritas all day.
She doesn't even drink, but by 80, she should.
I don't either, but I would have been okay with you bringing the wine today.
That's funny. Yeah. She doesn't either, but I think that she would be sad if I didn't.
Yeah, probably, because that's like part of your spiel. Like,
it is.
It's probably
like
walking around with a glass of wine.
I enjoy it.
What's your favorite wine?
Ooh, Pinot Noir for sure.
Yeah, any particular brand?
No, I'm not picky about.
Just any of them?
Yeah, I'm not.
What about?
My husband's really good. So we have a whiskey wall.
Okay.
He collects whiskey. Okay. And so one time he let my wine fridge or my little wine area go empty.
Oh.
And he was like, never again. Because he went and fixed a whiskey drink. And I was like, oh, I have no wine.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, so now I'm in your
now I have like an abundance.
It's always there.
And so he always buys different labels and types.
Box wine.
And, I mean, I'll drink it.
I'm not going to pass up a free drink.
First choice, but
I'd like to have a nice bottle vintage 2024.
Right? Yeah, I'm not picky by any means. It could be $10 or it could be $200. I do not care.
And there is a wide range of wines like that.
Oh yeah,
too.
it's wild.
Yeah, it is
actually.
wild.
Yeah,
very diverse. More so than even whiskey. Wine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It really is wild. I worked at a restaurant in college, and it was called the Veranda, and it was like the best place. I made so much money in college; it was stupid. But it was known for its wine, and that's how I learned all about this wine. And I was like, I'm just a red girl. I like red wine, and don't like the sweet stuff.
I love the sweet stuff more so.
Most people do, but I cannot do it.
A Riesling. I like a nice Riesling.
It like catches me right here.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I guess there's so many different types and I mean, it's weird, you know what I mean, with the different I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but I can tell you what I don't like about drinking whiskey. No sir, it's just too much for me.
Well, I would be fighting you if I drank whiskey for
that's
no
another
reason.
Thing. I learned that in my 20s.
Same.
I'd go to the bar and like 2 shots of tequila, I'm ready to just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, back at Mississippi State, they had, you get in for $5 and you drink all night with their we called it a Crown and Coke, but I'm sure it was just well whiskey out of a bucket or whatever.
Sure.
And I cannot do whiskey now.
Man,
the Hunt Club in Starkville ruined me.
Yeah, I believe it. And on top of that, not everybody does good with whiskey.
No, I don't anymore.
Yeah. Well, it just changes a person too. Like it makes you. I mean, I always say this about tequila. It'll take a person and they're the world's greatest lover or the biggest fighter. Either way. And you got to know.
There's a different way that goes, but we won't say that on air.
Right. I was trying to be kind of.
You did really good.
Yes, good. But I do know that, and I can remember my sons trying to teach them, because I learned. I hadn't had anybody to teach me. So
me either. None of my parents even drink.
You're right. So nobody ever said, hey, Neil, you need to know the differences between a vodka and a tequila and a bourbon. Like, not for taste, but what they will do to you if you drink too much of it.
Right.
Because there is a difference behavior based on what you're doing.
Exactly.
Wine is a different kind of drunk than a beer. Tequila is way different than any of that stuff. So, and it doesn't take much to get you there.
Yep.
That's another thing. So I was adamant about trying to make sure they are aware how they behave on those things. And I remember my oldest son, who's a trooper now, I was like, hey man, you can't drink whiskey no more. He was like 21 or something. And he's like, what's going on, Dad? I'm like, dude, it just changes you.
Yeah.
You're already an aggressive type personality.
Yeah.
When you add that, it's like everybody's in danger around you, not from he's going to beat him up or nothing. Just the wildness, because you have he was already no fear.
Yeah.
You just add that to it and he's ready to go
crazy.
Yeah, he's ready to jump off top of the house with nothing I can fly,
My husband's really funny because he kind of watches my temperament. What has our week been like? What's our month been like? Who's been in and out of our life? And is she stressed? And he's like, all right, tonight we're just going to do 3 glasses of wine. Because if I hit that 4th, you're going to be crying about something that happened 20 years ago.
Blaming me for something that took place. Oh, man, I love it. Yeah.
And so he's like, let's just stick to, I don't know. Well, we do vodka water. That's an easy one, but.
Yeah. I just don't like the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
I just don't. Like, it's got to be really sweet. You know, I'm a big chocolate fan.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I guess that's just me. I'm just a woman when it comes to my drinking.
I'm only a social drinker. Like during at home.
Oh yeah,
we have a whole liquor room, and we
Yeah.
don't even drink during the week at home
Right,
unless we have
so-
people over.
I can see that. I have people I know that collect whiskeys like that, like
Yeah.
rare bottles, you know, or very high end stuff.
Yeah.
You know, $100 bottle of whiskey, you know, serious. You know.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
ones. If we have a party, you know, it's expensive. We'll hide.
Sure.
Y'all don't go looking for it.
Yeah,
but he'll hide it.
Absolutely. And no, it's just, you know, a different taste. I don't oppose it, you know, like I'm not opposed to it. I'm a social drinker. Like I said, I'll have, you know, a beer with you if we're sitting at the bar or whatever. I just don't put myself in those positions much, you know. And
see, we're very social people. We built our house for that. So we host a lot of pool parties, a lot of football, football watching.
Yeah.
And I will tear
I'll be
up
looking
some
for
beer.
one of those invites there.
You got
JaNae.
it, man. Anytime. You got it.
I don't do much of that, man. I think I stay so busy with the stuff we do. Man, going home is like my place of solitude. Like that's where I escape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know I go there and find peace. You know, and my wife allows me that. I say
love that.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
Yeah, and I don't mess with her too much. She don't mess with me too much. So, you know, and
It's your quiet little corner.
she's quiet, so it makes it better. I say enough for me and her both usually.
Oh, yeah.
So,
See, my husband and I are very similar on the social aspect.
Oh yeah.
So like he works super hard all week, but by the weekend he's like, all right, babe, let's go.
Well, y'all are still fairly young. 10 more years,
yeah.
you'd be like, man, let's just stay in. And
Well,
watch
we've
the game.
definitely in the last year have picked up a lot more on people coming to us.
Yes.
Like, come to our house. Let's watch football at our house.
Yeah, because then you can like, all right, guys, we're going to bed.
Yep. See y'all later.
Y'all got to get out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, football's a good one. I love that. Like again, it goes back to like college football though. I don't like
pro football.
I don't watch it at all.
say I'm a Dak fan, but I grew up a Dallas fan, so I do follow the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Don't hate me for that.
Yeah.
But
we're just gonna be a loser forever.
Right, I know. It's okay. I mean, I'm a State fan too. So.
I'm joking.
And I'm a Braves fan. You
I'd
know,
love to
like
see it all. I like to see success in all forms. I don't hate on anybody, man. I like in business. I want to see you succeed.
Yep.
Even if you don't like me, I don't care. I still want to see. I don't want to see anybody fail.
I mean, I want everybody to succeed except Ole Miss.
But except for Ole Miss.
Kidding.
Yeah. I know you really don't mean that.
I don't.
No.
I'll tell you what changed for me. I'm a diehard State fan, and when I was in college, diehard. I'm talking hated Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated Ole Miss. And then my son went to college. And I was like, oh, these are children.
Yes.
Like they're his age. And I'm like bashing these men, like young boys. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'll do better.
Then you see, I think as we grow older, I mean, I think that's pretty typical when you're young. You're just like a real fanatic, if you will, about your team.
Yeah.
And everybody's the enemy. You know, but now that you can see it, it's like, man, I mean, somebody's got to be on the losing end of this, and it's going to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, and they're young babies.
And they're young babies.
Like now that I'm an old lady, I'm like, you poor baby.
Yeah, I don't think you're quite an old lady yet, but yes, I get what
when
you're
you
saying.
look at it in that perspective.
From a maturity standpoint, anyway. So, yeah, and I can remember like playing t-ball and being just like, you know, real aggressive and young. And you know, my daughter was like the t-ball captain, you know, type deal. So like she was running over kids and I was like, yeah, baby. And I'm thinking, it never crossed my mind that little poor baby over there that was on the receiving end of that.
Oh trucked.
My gosh. She absolutely dump trucked her. That's what they called it back then. So yeah, I think that just comes with age, JaNae.
Well, that does change a lot. I played softball my whole life.
Yeah.
And I was a pitcher for Olive Branch, like loved it. It was my whole identity.
What kind of speed was you getting with that?
I didn't have a lot of speed, but if they told me floss your teeth with it, I could do it.
So you're a good, accurate
thrower. I was a very accurate thrower.
But not like a 90-mile-an-hour underhand.
Nope, I wasn't known for my speed, but I was definitely known for my accuracy.
It still looks to me more dangerous than professional baseball. And you know why? The shorter distances.
Yep. Especially as hard as they're throwing nowadays.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, so when you look at those, and they're on a flat mound, by the way, they're not driving off of a pitch.
Yeah.
You know, like people understand this. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Softball fields are not pitched up like a baseball field.
No, they're not.
So when them gals come underarm with a 75-mile-an-hour softball.
Scooting.
Man, it is moving. And on top of that, like it's a shorter distance.
Yep.
I don't know how many feet shorter, but it's ridiculously shorter.
Man, I don't even remember. It's been so long.
But it's so fast.
It's so fast.
Yeah, the bat reaction. Those are serious athletes.
And they're throwing faster than I ever thought about.
Yeah, man. And then they're real athletes. I don't think people give them enough credit. Girls
softball's
softball.
Intense. It's good. It's so fun to watch too.
I like it.
It's a good time to watch. Even my son will watch it.
Because it's action packed, man. Like I said, it's the short bases, it's the short mound, it's all that stuff. It's moving so quick, and those girls are super athletes, man.
They are.
They really are.
They are.
I wish there was a professional level for it so that they could move
Me too.
on.
That was my excuse as to why I didn't play in college, because I was like, there's nothing after it. I'm going to kill myself for 4 more years.
Yeah.
And there's nothing after it. And I was like, let me just go enjoy my life.
When you're probably burnt out by the time you got there. One of the things about youth athletics is like it's so 24/7 now.
It is.
365.
It is.
That by the time you even get to high school, you're just like, oh my God, does this end? As a child, It is. It's wild.
It's even, like, I played year round. It was softball, but it was, I don't know, when I was doing it, I didn't realize how demanding it was. But it was, by the time I was ready to graduate, I had 6 scholarships.
Yeah.
And by the time I was ready to graduate, I was like, Dad, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't want to do no more.
It broke that man's heart.
I bet it did, because
his heart.
He'd been living every game with you.
He did. Never miss one. I think he missed one game my whole life.
Right. So now it's like it's over, baby.
I was like, I'm so sorry, Dad, but I'm beat. I'm burnt out.
I think that happens to a lot of kids now, especially. Yeah. I am about a generation older than you, a decade for sure. So like things were a little different back then. We had definitely had seasons of sports.
Yep.
Especially where I grew up in Alabama. I mean, like we went from, football started the fall, and we transitioned straight away into basketball. And then there wasn't no drag on for training after that either. Like the football coach wasn't like, well, we're going to work out between November and April to get you ready for the spring game. That wasn't it, because you're playing basketball.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to switch your sport, which I think is so important.
And then we got to full-fledged flop into baseball from basketball.
Yep.
About a month in between. We might have had a spring practice for football. It was just always a coordinated event, and it just flipped sports, and it wasn't that serious.
Now it's 3 on top of 3 sports.
Yes. And then in the summer times, if we chose to play like some kind of youth league or something outside of the school, you played like a park rec league or something. It was over by the middle of June, and then you had the rest of your summer to do something. Man, today
it's wild.
It is nonstop.
Especially with the 2 different age groups. So the 15 is playing, the 7-year-old is playing, and so the 15-year-old has the second half of summer.
Yeah.
The 7-year-old has February to the first half of summer. My husband's like, we sold our boat because we don't ever go.
Yeah, and on top of that, the cost.
Oh, it's outrageous.
So
it's outrageous.
When I started out, I think we had to pay I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like when you signed up for football, the school covered you through the insurance program. But like if you played in a park and rec league, I mean, there was minimal cost. Like, you paid $6-8 for this little form, and you get a hat and a T-shirt or something, play ball, and it covered your insurance and everything. But man, like it's a whole business now.
It's unreal.
And there's people aspiring to make a bigger career. So like if they're a cheerleading choreographer or coach or whatever, it kind of, and then there's these baseball phenoms, these track coach.
Volleyball is one of the most expensive things. That and like the cheerleading is wild.
Cheerleading is very, very expensive.
I mean, baseball is expensive, but then I hear my friends talk about their daughters, and I'm like, you know what? Thank you for
Let
baseball.
me just have baseball.
Yeah,
if you got to travel a lot, the baseball's serious. Like if you got to go a lot, but I'm telling you, man, it leaves so many kids out. Yeah. That's what I don't like. If you're fortunate.
Well, not anymore. Now you just have to pay the price and sign up. They don't care. They'll take everybody.
The team.
Yeah.
So if you're good, you're going.
If you're not good, if you pay, you're going.
Yeah, if you pay, you're going. That's what I'm saying. But it leaves kids out, though. Like the ones who can't afford is what I'm trying to get at.
For sure.
They get left out of these opportunities because they can't afford to play, and then, or if you got a great coach that says, hey, look, we're going to have a couple of kids that are kind of like involved this year, and the rest of us are going to have to pick up the tab for them.
Yep.
Now, that's great if you do that.
Sure.
But that's not normal.
Right.
I mean, it's not, because it's such a heavy cost. Like the person, you as a mom, is barely able to afford getting them here.
Yeah.
So if you got to pitch in extra to get somebody else, you would if you could.
Of course.
But it leaves so many kids out.
It does.
Cheerleading, it leaves so many kids out.
It does.
Like not everybody
and you
can
can't
afford
even really play rec league anymore because nobody's there.
No. No,
You know?
no.
I mean,
they're
we
on
went
competition
from, my
ball.
7-year-old went from the rec league last year, and now he's on a team. And I will say, we're with an organization with him that's really small. Like, it's the only baseball team they have. I'm sure they'll grow in the future, but, you know, they want to take them together forever, you know, as long as they can.
Yeah.
And you just don't get that anymore. You know, like my 15-year-old, he's been on 37 different teams, I feel like, you know.
Well, because I think a lot of it is because the guys who are coaching the teams have these agendas and aspirations to do something more and grow it and become a bigger, better coach. You know, everybody's dream is to become the Nick Saban of college football.
Sure.
You know, it goes back to the Saban effect we talked about
Exactly.
before. He created so much money and value for a coach. You know, there was a time when even in the 80s and 90s, you know, a coach to get $150,000 a year to coach college football, it was a lot of money. You know, now we're talking 10, 12, $15 million.
Yes, I can't even fathom
so
it.
that's the thing. Like, it's turned in such a lottery. If you can ever make it and be that one guy
That's right.
to make it to that level. I mean, I'm sure Pete Golding, looking back from Delta State, he never dreamed that he'd be the head coach of Ole Miss.
Exactly.
You know, so you look back at that, and now he's in the millions and millions, you know, and it's just
I just
wanted
wanted to squeeze his face when they beat Georgia. I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
you get this credit.
That's right.
You know, I mean, really, it was.
But that's the problem with youth athletics, man.
Yeah.
Like, if I think you have to have a hard talk with your kids too. Like, hey, you're not going to make it. You're not good enough for the next level.
Right.
So are you enjoying this?
Right.
Not really. Well, let's stop it now.
Yeah.
Before it gets just like you're financially ruining our family. You know, like we've had to take out a second mortgage.
Right. We sold the cars. We sold your brother.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, your dad's not able to go hunting this year. You know, I've cut back on my nails.
Right.
You know, we're sacrificing
now
too much.
Now we're going the cheap bottles. We're in box wine.
All that stuff. We're in the box wine game. So, I think that's a problem, and I think that we're guilty of it as parents because we just want our kids to do better than we did. You know, 100%. That's the ultimate goal. You know, and you don't want to deny them because their friends got it. You know, or whatever. But not everybody has that. I just hate the undue pressure it puts on parents to be a part of something. Yeah. You know, and there's those one outliers that do get to that next level.
Absolutely.
You know, they are some great ones.
Yep.
You know,
we got some really good ones around here.
Yes, we do.
Coming up in the ranks. They're looking good.
We've already had like a multitude of professional baseball players come out of DeSoto County. And I think that gives them hope that the eyes are on it here. Clearly, we have some great coaches, great programs, and some great athletes, no doubt about it. However, you know, they probably could have got found in their high school baseball team. Yeah, they could have. Yeah. It didn't have to be a competitive league.
Now, you know, high school's hardly even looked at unless you're, you know, winning everything.
Yeah, you have to be like just
man,
national.
Y'all are missing out on some great players.
I love the high school aspect of football too. I'm so glad that football does not do what baseball does with that competitive league stuff. Yeah. You know, the buck stops at the high school level. There's no, what do you call them? Competitive leagues outside of the school. Yeah. And that's probably one of the few things, because it is there with basketball and it is there with baseball, and it creates this ongoing 365. It just never stops.
We're on a merry-go-round forever.
Yes, I think that's why football is so popular.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know? So, because, you know, I think there's seasons with it. Yeah. You know, I'm sad when it's over. You know, I really
then
am.
You get a break.
You do.
You know, the kids get a break.
Yeah.
And, you know, right now my middle son, like, he's living at the gym, you know, weight room 24/7. And, you know, he finally hit a little growth spurt. And
how tall is he now?
Oh, let's see. He went up a size and a half in a month and a half in shoes.
Wow.
And so I want to say he's like 5'11".
So he's growing.
Almost 6 feet. Yeah. His dad's 6'4".
Yeah.
But he's been little forever.
And then just all of a sudden it's taken off.
And then I did a girl's hair yesterday, and she saw him and she was like, "Who is that man in your yard?" I was like,
that man.
That's my boy. And she was like, "What?"
His voice went from squeaky to now he sounds like Neil. Like he's got a deep voice.
The first time it happened, he like yelled downstairs, and I was like, "Ooh, who was that?" I was not ready.
Probably broke up a little bit. Voice changed. You know, we forget about that sometimes. I remember going through that change of voice, and it was all kind of, you know, like your voice cracks, and, you know, it's so funny looking back on those times for children when they're going through that.
Kids these days are so funny. Like, his little group of friends, there's like 12 of them, all these boys. They basically live at our house during the summer. And, you know, they're all kind of hitting it at different levels at different times. But they're so funny about it. You know, like, we would never joke about it. Mm-hmm. You know, we were so serious about growing up. And then now they're like just goofy about it. And
I think so.
fun.
I think that's the internet allowing them to be who they are because they see other people going through similar things. And
like you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone.
And
that's important.
Goofy. Yes,
I remember
absolutely.
feeling isolated, and you probably did too. Like you have something happen to you that's like very embarrassing, and you think, I'm the only person in the world this happened to. But in reality, it's happened to every single person. Yeah,
every
absolutely.
person.
And our parents didn't talk to us about that because it was buttoned up.
That's right.
Now your kids are talking to your parents about things that,
everything.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I
Too
didn't
much
have to
information.
know that.
Yeah,
I didn't have to know that. Thank you for trusting me, but I didn't have to know
That's
that
right.
one.
And as they get older, and you will find this too, by the way, because it's happened to me. My children, as much as they still respect me as their dad and so, but they become your friends.
Oh man, my 20-year-old and his girlfriend, they're my homies.
That's right. That's right.
They're my little besties.
So then they get to where they really overshare. Yeah. And you're just like, hey, I don't want to know that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or they'll say something to my wife, their mom, something, and my wife's like, what? like you just said, what about me and your dad? So
keep that to yourself.
Please
kid.
do. Yes, absolutely. So, but I will say this, my mother who passed away summer before last, Nancy, she absolutely loved that about her grandchildren.
Yeah.
Because she was just in awe of the stuff they would say and do.
I
And
love it.
she loved all the funny, dirty stories of college and the stuff they were going through. She'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
See, that's where I am with my 20-year-old. You know, I want to share all these cool things I did at Mississippi State because that's where he is. But then also I have a 7-year-old, and I'm like, he doesn't need to know that.
He don't need to know that yet. But he will know more because he's got older siblings.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. They learn. Because I forget when I'm in the room with my grandchildren sometime. I got a 10-year-old granddaughter, and man, she's all like perked up ears listening. She's quiet.
Oh, yeah. Nosy little things.
Oh, man, for sure. And then me and my son will be talking. I'll be like, maybe we shouldn't be talking about that in front of Ava,
Right.
She's heard it all, Dad.
Yeah, that's true.
But does she need to? That's the thing,
Well, she'll be very well versed when she gets older.
I had the good fortune of being raised by all my grandparents were in the room, and so I was always just like the only child in the whole vicinity.
I think that's why I like politics. It's on my mom's side. I don't think I ever remember the TV not being on the news unless my grandfather wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And so, I heard everything my whole life.
And real, shocking things.
Yeah.
Like that you probably shouldn't have heard it at 6 or 7 years old, whatever. I was raised by some ambulance chasing grandparents. Something happened.
You heard all kinds of stuff.
We'd be rolling up on the scene. And I'd be like, what are we doing here?
Right.
They're over there smoking cigarettes with the windows rolled up, spying on what's going on.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh. Because we had a scanner. I'm big on scanners. I want scanners.
My grandfather had a lot of those.
Yeah. But we don't have them here. Because, Facebook's the only place people find out about anything.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
So TikTok's not good because it's not real time.
Yeah.
And it's not, you don't know where the algorithm's taking you.
Right.
It could be somebody in Japan watching you.
Right.
Facebook is such local.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this platform is based on is the local yokels. But, we get the happenings pages kind of tells us what's going on in the community. Well, it's not always good quality information, So I always say we need scanners, and I'm always every mayor I interview, the sheriff, I'm like, we need scanners. Just say you're going to work on it.
Darren Musselwhite, we need scanners.
We need scanners. He's like, I don't have nothing to do with that. But here's my thing: if you create an app that people will pay for, you could fund so much with that, because even if you charge $20 a month, people are going to buy that because you're going to hear in the now immediately what's going on. And it's not about trying to be nosy, although we are. It's not just that. It's public safety. At that point, if there is something going on and popping off, and
it offers a little bit of transparency.
It does.
Too.
It does. And if it gets real bad, just turn it off.
Yeah.
Just turn it off to the public. Okay, go black. Whatever.
Right. Have a
it's
code
getting
word.
too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do believe, and that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm trying to get that done.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. I've heard scanners my whole life.
But not in DeSoto County.
Not in DeSoto County.
It's all scrambled. They've all got it digitally scrambled.
Wow, that's funny.
Their answers to me is we don't want the criminals to know what we're doing. Trust me, if they're busy criminaling, they ain't paying attention to what you're doing.
Or they know already.
And they already know already. And we got so much Leo, son, we're going to catch them anyway.
That's right.
But I need to know if we need to lock the doors or we need to not go up to the corner store right now because it's hot.
Or the bank right up the road.
But now the reverse scenario that is, and they're not wrong about this, they're the people who will go anyway because they just found out there's an issue. And they're nosy. And that was my grandparents.
Yeah.
If we'd have had a camera back then, son, talk about the gold. Yes, all the footage. Yeah. Places I should not have been at 5 and 6 years old. I can tell you that right now, Anyway, man, it's been fun today.
Yes, JaNae. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it. This was easy. This was great.
I'm really glad to finally meet you, too.
Yeah, same.
And you guys can go find her at Sunup to Sundown.
Yep.
On TikTok.
That's it.
And she does Facebook, but I think you're probably married to TikTok, right?
Yeah.
You don't really cross over too much with your...
I put my kids on Facebook, so I try not to link the two.
Yeah, and if your friend requests her, she's probably not going to accept it, just to be clear on that.
So, follow me on TikTok. And
follow her on TikTok. She'll probably follow you back or something.
I will. Facebook's boring. Y'all
and another thing I want to remind people of is to always interact with JaNae. Like on her web, she's really good. Like before she even knew me, I'd comment and I'd be like, yeah, Miss doing good. And she'd ask me like, well, who do you think's going to win? Why? She wants to know. So like she'll interact with you. She wants to talk to you. So go to her page, Sunup to Sundown. You'll find some wild stuff on there sometimes, pretty funny stuff. And I think my favorite was you on vacation back at I guess around Christmas. You guys took off and went to like Mexico or somewhere. And you're just living life, but you were like, I'm out. I'm not going to be talking about nothing for a minute. Yeah. We're just going to be drinking and having a good time. Where did y'all go exactly?
We went to Cancun. Mexico.
Was it nice?
It was. The weather was perfect.
Just you and the hubby?
Yep.
Yeah, good. That's good.
Yeah, we know some people just around because we go every year.
Yeah.
Right after Christmas, just the two of us because we're sick
I need
of
to
kids.
start doing that. Me and my wife need to start going to somewhere tropical like that.
Yeah. It's nice.
I was going to go to Venezuela, but I think that's out.
Probably not a good time right now.
Yeah, Aruba. It's right.
Give it like a year.
Give it at least a year.
At least a year.
Yeah. So that was my goal. That's probably what's going to ask why we didn't go this year.
Yeah, I understand. That's good.
Anyway,
safety first.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to me and JaNae. They're professional yappers. That's what we're going to call us from now on.
That's right.
Aubrey,
I love it.
Anybody that does this,
I don't know if you can handle both of us at the same time.
I probably need to have y'all on together. That'd be a hot show.
We feed off of each other way too much.
Do y'all spend a lot of time together? Like still?
We talk a lot.
Yeah,
but no, not physically. Just she's busy and I'm busy. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all both got kids.
Yeah. My work day starts in the afternoons with all the kids stuff. So,
which is the reason why I need to let you get out of here because you got to go get those dudes.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Trust
having me.
To do the show. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah,
I think
enjoyed
that we need
really.
to go. We need to have. I told Aubrey this too. We need to have like every month or so. We need to do a show like spilling the tea.
Yeah.
With Aubrey or something. I told her that. I was
I love that.
We'll do something with you. Maybe y'all come in together. Bring your mamas.
Oh, Lord. All four of us.
She brought her mama.
I know.
She wouldn't get on film, though.
My mom would not either. She would not either.
But she looked beautiful. She was over there all prepped up.
Always.
Aubrey was like, she goes to the mailbox like that.
She does. You would not catch her without her lipstick.
Miss Pat. Yeah.
Miss Pat.
She's a nice lady.
My mom's name is Pam.
Pam and Pat.
Pam and Pat.
That's nice. Yeah. And but I thank you for coming in. You guys go follow her. Remind everyone about our sponsors of the show, RoofWorks Roofing Company. They're great, trustworthy people. Go check them out. I'll have them all in the show notes. And remember, Fancy Nancy Foundation, we're giving away a Jeep here pretty soon. I keep saying this, and it's getting a little bit delayed, JaNae, because we're just trying to get it done right.
Yeah.
And so before we put it out there to the public to win ticket or to buy a ticket, it's like $20 a ticket, and all the proceeds are going to go towards domestic violence and fighting that. As overall to support the house, and some other organizations too will probably help, but we need it to be successful so we can help some folks, but it's going to be a really cool Jeep we're building with Spider Off-Road, and they're doing a great job if you know those guys. So I'm really excited about it. So be looking for that, guys. Until next time, thank you. Bye.